Holy moly, I have just been talking with this incredible lady who is on the screen behind me, and hopefully you guys can see her and that our technology is playing nice. Her name is Tazman Baker. She is a young mum. She has her own company called White Fox Events that she started from her home. And the most incredible thing, that's really cool. I mean, it's cool that she's got a business and all that kind of stuff, but basically what I think is the most incredible thing, that she's doing all of this with mental health in tow. And it's something I'm deeply passionate about. I totally get it. I have my own mental health issues, or I don't like the word mental health. I think, Tasman, I think we're going to change the words around that. I just think I choose to view it as a superpower. So I've got anxiety, we've got depression that runs all the way through our family. So yes, thank you for joining us, Tazman. I really appreciate you being here today. How you cracking?
I'm doing all right. Not bad for isolation, I guess.
Yeah, it's crazy. I can't even imagine. So just talk me through. So you're a young mum. How many kids? 1, 2, 3?
One, just the one. Just the one. I'm not crazy.
Yet.
Yeah, not yet.
3. I've got 3. Once you get to the 3, you're like, woohoo.
Yeah. I'm already loopy, so I think just one's enough for me.
So good. And so you're coming to us all the way from Sydney we're coming from Sydney in Australia. But
I'm in central Queensland.
Oh shit! All right, you're not from those, because we were talking before, weren't we? We're saying that we're from the hood.
Yeah, we went to school in Sydney and moved up to central Queensland with my husband years ago. I don't even know how many years ago. But yeah, we're in Rockhampton and absolutely love it up here.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Actually, there's a lady. Do you know Beck Smith?
I do. Yes.
How cool is she?
Super amazing. I love knowing her, love working. I've worked with her a little bit on one of her events. Super amazing. Yeah.
Oh, she is one heck of a firecracker. She's definitely my people. She's passionate, she's driven, she's kind, she's giving. And no doubt that's probably why you've gravitated towards her as well.
Oh, so definitely. She just oozes, you know.
Tell me just a little smidgen about, because I'm really passionate about, yes, okay, we can talk about businesses and there's heaps of platforms that talk about businesses, and that is it's cool. Business is cool. I love business, don't get me wrong. But I'm more interested about, why did you start White Fox? Because it's a wedding event. Is that what it is?
It's mainly weddings, yes. It's, I do love the private events as well, the birthday parties, anniversaries, things like that. Pretty much anything that you can celebrate, why not celebrate it? It's all about being with people and celebrating, whether it's an individual person for what they've accomplished, or, a couple for the love, because that's what you're celebrating. A wedding is to celebrate love and connection. So yeah, I do planning and decorating. Decorating is definitely my passion. It's attention to all those really little details, things that people don't even notice. I like being the background person.
So is that something you've always been obsessed with? Is it the detail side of it, or were you solving a problem?
I've always been detail orientated. I didn't realize it at the time. It really wasn't until we were planning our wedding that I started to get really excited about the not fun stuff, like we get to sit down and fill out forms and meet with people and that kind of stuff. That's when I really found out that this is something that I'm really enjoying. And I mean, we didn't have a very lavish wedding. It was very low key, very small. But in the end, I was really upset that it was over. I wanted to have another one, and I wanted to do it bigger and better and different, and I was really upset that I couldn't have more people involved, like more businesses and stuff. But that really just came down to us being budget conscious people.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that, because a lot of people kind of get in their own headspace, and you'd know this is your demographic, but they're all like, oh, it's all about the money you spend and how big and crazy it is, when actually people forget that it actually just is about 2 people joining and celebrating their love for each other in front of the people that they love.
Exactly.
So I think there's something really beautiful about having a small intimate event.
It was It was beautiful. We had about 35 people, and it was just, we personally knew every single person. We got to talk with every single person. It was just beautiful. And at the end of the day, we got to just go, oh, it was perfect for us. It was exactly what we wanted. And
Hey,
everyone loved it.
just so you know, we've got Beck Smith on here. She's like, oh my gosh, I love this woman. She styled my Yapoon BBB event.
Yes, yes, it was so much fun. It was beautiful. And yeah, I'm really, really grateful that Beck got me to be a part of that. I loved it.
Oh, she's so cool. And she's saying her attention to detail is absolutely insane. She loves you so much. So that's cool.
Oh, thank you.
Let's move on from that, because you're more than just business. How old are you?
I am 26, I think.
How old's Bubba?
He is almost 1. He's a few weeks away from 1. Happy
birthday in advance.
Yes, he's a Star Wars baby.
Star Wars baby.
Yep, he was born on May the 4th.
I love it. That's so
Dad's
good.
favorite day of the year.
Oh, that's so cool. Couldn't be more perfect, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so talk to me about, I want to just dive straight into it because I'm a bit like that. Mental health is something massive. And right now, with COVID and having that separation and actually what is like, feels like disconnection, depends on which side of the fence that you sit on. I feel like more people are reaching out and kind of being more connected now and interested in each other than we ever were before. It felt before like we were all very insular and into our own, what can I get? What can I get? And it feels to me like since COVID, everything's kind of, it's set out little tentacles, and I feel like we're all becoming a lot more connected. Yeah. So mental health is massively important right now. Tell me about your struggles.
Well, mine, I didn't even know that I was struggling until pretty much I had Barb, and then obviously they connect the health system, they connect you with nurses, and I'm a very open person. So opening up to my nurse, she then realized, hey, it's not quite normal what you're going through. Let's connect you with someone else, that's a psychologist. So then I've been seeing them and pretty much just having word vomit. When I sit down with her, I just blurt everything out. There's nothing off limits. And she's very comfortable to talk to, which they should be. And then she's been kind of helping me dive into things and realize that that's not a part of your personality. That is something that you're struggling with, and you don't, it feels off to you because it is off. Yeah. So she's been helping me realize, maybe some of the reasons that I do things or I act a certain way. My biggest thing that I brought up was my temper. I lose my temper quite easily. So that's kind of the first thing that we worked on, and then kind of just went from there. And now realizing that.
Because actually people buy into that and they just go, well, it's just the way I am. And that's the most important thing about, I think, mental health awareness, is that sometimes the way that you feel, doesn't always belong to you. And there are things, and there's coping mechanisms and tools that we can use to be able to get through and change that.
Definitely.
How it must have been a huge relief for you.
Huge relief is one, but then it also opened up this whole nother world of like, well, what does that part of me mean? And what does that mean? And it was just this, now it's this whole new learning experience, and I get to dive in and, just learn so much more about me. And I talk to my mom about it a lot, and then she's going, hey, hang on. I've actually had some of those feelings, maybe not recently, maybe years ago, but then now it's now a learning experience for her as well. And it's something that we're finding out almost everyone in my family is going through. Everybody's struggling with that little bit of anxiety or something at some point, and we just didn't know it.
Do you know what's really interesting? And actually think that's a really good point. And I think you mentioned earlier when we were talking earlier, trying to get this freaking thing on live while it was giving us technical difficulties. That's bloody stressful, I'm not going to lie. It's the family dynamic over the generations, especially around mental health.
Yeah.
I know that it just wasn't talked about. It wasn't a thing. And you were the way you were, and that was it. Like I'm probably the first person in my family to stand up and say, I've got mental health issues. not issues, I hate using that word. I've just got mental health
We've
differences.
got superpowers.
We have superpowers. Because I'm ADHD. AF. I'm not even diagnosed. I don't think I need a freaking diagnosis.
I've just found out I'm inattentive ADHD. I haven't been properly diagnosed because I don't want to pay a psychiatrist heaps of money to do tests and everything. I've gone through with my psychologist and we've debunked it and we've gone, right, this is what I'm struggling with. Now I get to learn all about it. And I'm more than happy to tell people, you know, that it's something that I get to live with and I get to educate other people with. And it's fun. It's contradicting that type of ADHD that I have. But it's fun because I get to say, do you know what, this is the typical and this is where I differ, and I kind of make it my own a little bit. So it's been fun, and it's fun educating my husband because he doesn't read anything. So
it's good because it opens up a completely different dialogue because now he can understand you in a different way.
Yep. And I feel like it's also a way that I can connect with other people and know how to get to know them a little bit better. If someone, you know, someone that I mention it to says, you know, do you know what, I feel like that's a little bit of me as well. That completely changes our relationship. Right, let's learn this together. Let's help one another together. Let's, you know, debunk it, and, you know, let's connect you with others that maybe you and I aren't going to help each other. We need somebody else that can educate us.
Yeah, I mean, I've been, like, I did a little bit of a stalk before I jumped on here with you, because the whole concept, I know I'm here on my personal page right now, so for anybody that's just joined us, the whole reason we are going live right now, I mean, I would love to have had you on my personal page anyway, but the whole point that is so that we can stream this. We had a bit of technical difficulty actually getting this to go live on our Obsessed With page. This is actually, there is a watch party being hosted at the moment in the Obsessed With page. And this is our entire jam. This is what this is about. We're not wanting to interview celebrities and well-known people, that too, but we're passionate about people. And I think that this time right now that we're dealing with it's shown us all that no matter who you are, where you're from, we are all the same race, all of us. It affects us all the same way. So it's just like, and I know that you talk a lot about backing yourself and valuing yourself, and that's music to my ears. Tell me more.
Pretty much, I know that I wanted to go into this wedding and events industry. I have always struggled with my self-confidence, and I'm just constantly doubting myself, no matter what it is that I'm doing. You know, every day it's either the business or it's as a wife or as a mom, or, you know, just full of doubts all the time. As soon as I knew this was the avenue I wanted to go down, I said, right, how can I have a point of difference? How can I make sure that I'm going to be confident in myself? And I studied my absolute butt off. I did certifications while working full time, had my baby. I was fresh out of hospital. He was feeding for hours and I'd be on the laptop finishing, and he was about 2 months when I finished my studies. So I crammed a lot in that fresh newborn stage. Now having that, I can say to people, do you know what, I'm different because I'm qualified in what I do. And that's where as soon as I have that doubt of like, oh, it's a new client, it's something different, you know, can I really do this? I've then got to trust in myself and go, do you know what, I wouldn't have the qualifications if I couldn't do it. So they're the biggest thing for me to fall back on. And whether other people value them the way that I do doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. And you know what? There's so many, and this is what for me, school wasn't right, and qualification. Yeah. I didn't finish school, don't have any qualifications.
Me too.
Right? So for me, I just don't hold them in the same regard, because I think there's a lot of disempowering that goes on in society, and we are forced to value ourselves on a scale in little boxes, and it starts from a very early age in the school system. So it's not bad. It's just the way that we've all been brought up. And it just, in some cases, especially people that aren't built for those types of processes and systems, it sets you up for failure.
Yeah, so, definitely.
Yeah, and I actually feel like most of us that come out of these systems are badasses because we've been put through the fucking ringer.
Yes, definitely. Yep.
Mate, I literally had a conversation with, you've got to watch this, go onto the Obsessed Hub later, but go and watch Richie Harkham. And he talks a lot about the resilience bank and how, you know, when you go through adversity and people go, why is this happening to me? Why is this happening? If you switch the mindset to go, every time that happens, you get richer and richer and richer in your adversity and resilience bank. That's why we're able to do how we do.
Yeah.
Now on that, I want to hear, because clearly you have what's perceived as adversity, but you are rich in your resilience bank. You started the events company. How long the events company's been running?
I started it a few years ago, probably 3-4 years ago now. Officially launched last year. I stopped all my full-time jobs and I went, right, this is now my focus, because it's not going to happen if I don't do something about it. So a couple of years, but officially last year.
Now, because for those of you that are listening, Tazman is actually in the event space. And of course, because of everything that's happening right now, there are no events. You can't go to a bloody event space. And it's not just like, oh, yes, you can run it online. I mean, I suppose you could. You do like weddings online, but it'd just be a bit weird. But I want to know, let's run through your thought process of what pivoting looks like for you. Because I started the convo saying you're pivoting like a boss. And you're like, nah. And
yeah, I don't feel like I am.
Talk to me.
I feel like I could be doing a little bit more. But I have, at the moment, I do have a lot going on in my home life. My husband's off work with an injury, a very bad injury at the moment. So that's taking up a lot of my time, but I'm trying to do things a little bit different for me. I'm stepping out of my comfort zone. Like, I've done my first live about a week ago. I tried to do...
Look at you, you're pro.
I know, and I loved it. I love the interacting. There's things that I need to work on, like the engagement. That's where I need to kind of, that's my main focus at the moment, how I can get more engagement.
Do you want me to give you a tip?
Sure.
Don't focus on the engagement. That's how you get more engagement. Focus on your message. Focus on your purpose and your why and your passion. That's
I love to educate, and I love to, you know, especially the budget conscious, the DIY people, obviously focusing at brides at the moment, giving them a bit of reassurance that everything's going to be okay. I did a Q&A. I tried to make it a live Q&A, but luckily I had people sending messages beforehand. So I still had good content. I was happy with my content. And now I'm trying to do something that's a little bit more all the time. I've started a group with the help of a friend to help all brides and event people in Australia. So hopefully can just give a little bit of advice and reassurance through that.
Awesome. So like what are the types of things that you're actually doing? Obviously, is it the group? Is that how you're trying? Is that how you're pivoting?
Mainly the group, yeah.
I like it. And look, if anything's more important right now, it is community. Yes. And actually being there and letting people know that you care and that you're going to hold space for them, so that when things settle down, when you're able to move forward, you're able to do that. Have you tried reaching out to some of your perceived competitors?
Not at the moment. I do work very closely with a couple of them, and we're in communication all the time. We're trying to come up with things that we can physically do to still be in front of people without having them worry about like it's a sales pitch or anything, because that's not what we're wanting to do at the moment. It's definitely not a time to be advertising new packages or, you know, hey, sign with me because of this reason. We just want to say, hey, we're here. If you have questions, like, we understand it's a very nervous time at the moment. But if you have questions, you know, because you're still going to get your wedding day.
Yeah.
Have questions, send them through. We're here to help. You know, we're still about executing your vision for your day.
I mean, that would have been quite difficult because you would have had bookings and then people, like, everything, basically the shit hit the fan.
Yeah.
So how did you handle it? Because how do you handle it?
Well, you just got to roll with the punches, really. I've been very lucky. No one has cancelled. No one has freaked out and cancelled. Everyone has gone, right, it's too soon, we're going to postpone. You know, we're more than happy for you to, you know, if you're available this date next year, we're just going to give it a whole year. Some people towards the end of the year have gone, we're just going to wait it out. We're not stressing. We know we've got some options. We know we've got time.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And it's any events about uncertainty.
Well, it's nice when you've got those clients that actually understand it and they're not in that panic mode. So you must be doing something right to be able to communicate that. And I think that's trust. That does come down to trust.
Definitely, I know, trust, the commitment, knowing that you're a genuine person and you're going through this as well. Don't be afraid to say, you know what, I'm having a hard time too. Just like you know, you may have just been stood down from your job, so you can't afford your wedding anymore. I get that. I just got stood down from my job too.
Yeah.
Like, we're all in this together. There's no point freaking out. We're all here to help. I think that, you know, what helped mainly with my clients and that reassurance is the fact that I reached out to them. You know, I jumped out before they could go into that freak out mode, and I went, hey, everything's going to be okay. Let's postpone. Let's put it on the back burner. Everything is still in place. So don't freak out. Don't cancel anything, because it may be different, but it's going to blow over. We're all going to come out of this in some way.
Do you know what? That is so fucking important. What you just said right there is absolute key. And that is how you do relationship. That's how you do good quality customer service. If you can see the shit unfolding, and which we all can see because we're all part of it, don't wait for your customers to contact you as though like, I'm going to wait because I'm going to hold the money and I'm just going to like, because that's what potentially people have paid deposits and everything else, right?
Yeah.
So be the person that reaches out to say, I see you, I recognize this, I've got you, whatever you need, I'm here for you.
Yeah.
And it changes. It absolutely changes. We had an experience where we had the opposite happen, where we went to the organization and they were like, no, like sticking their head in the sand, pretending like it wasn't happening. And that it caused an already stressful situation to be heightened. And you've brought that down. And I think that comes from, I really honestly, correct me if I'm wrong, but I really feel like with the mental health side of things, I think that's the superpower. You know what that feels like to have ultimate stress and anxiety.
Yes. Yeah, big time. And if there's anything that I can do for my clients, it is bringing down their anxiety, their stress, their worries. It shouldn't be something that they're worrying about at the moment. Like, you know, especially because I'm someone that worries about income. If our income stops or slows down or decreases, which it has because of my husband's injury alone, then, you know, you've just got to do things in small amounts and handle what you can at that time, rather than it being this big overwhelming stress bubble that you just cannot get out of.
What's your process for doing that? What's your actual, do you write it down? Do you?
Oh, right. I write everything down. I am a big list person. I go through probably a notebook a week, everywhere. I have 3 calendars that go. I've got filing systems. I've got notes on the phone, the computer, you know, physical, I have a notebook everywhere in every room of the house. I cannot function without physically writing something down.
Babe, if I spun my computer around, you'd be like, holy shit, that's my spirit animal. We're the same. We've just writing everywhere. And I'm not joking. We've got bits of paper. We've got notebooks to the left. We've got our walls covered. Actually, if I pulled that curtain back, literally was written on the glass.
Yeah, I am, hence why I'm sitting in this corner of my office, because the rest of it is just a bomb site.
There's awesomeness that happens in that mess, mate. That's creativity.
That's for sure.
Oh, that's so good. I'm obsessed with you. And I'm not even just saying that. I love it. You are the reason that we started Obsessed in the first place, because there is so much extra in the perceived ordinary. And I'm not, by no means am I calling you ordinary, but it's just the extra in the ordinary, because we're all ordinary when it comes down to it.
Oh, yeah.
But there's people that just go that extra, do that extra, and display that extra, and then share. You have I've never met you in my life, but I just pick up, and I'm good at reading energy, and I just get that beautiful, warm, sharing energy from you and kindness. And I think you've got that. And I think that's part of it, actually. And that's part of the like the ADHD thing, is that we just want to do for people.
Yeah.
We want to help.
Yeah. And I like to prove people wrong as well. I like, whether it's, you know, me or a task or someone else saying I can't do that. It's, well, I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm going to turn around and say, I told you so.
That is my jam. If someone says no, I'm like, whatever, watch me.
Excuse me.
Excuse me.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hey,
I just watch this space all the time.
I want to read some of these comments, right? So Luke Maroney says, we always think we can do more. Sometimes we should be doing less.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Calm. See? Yeah. You can get urgent. I talk a lot about getting urgent, and rather than getting stressed out and getting anxious. I like to put a different slant on that, and I feel like I'm getting urgent. I do have to be careful, make sure that my anxiety is not a part of that. But I love urgency. But how cool is it sometimes when you can just go, hang on, I don't necessarily need to be doing more. I might win by doing doing less.
Yes. Yeah.
I feel like the world's giving us this right now. That's exactly what the world's doing.
Definitely. It's a sign. It's a sign that we should have been doing this so long ago. And this, you know, and definitely talking about subjects that should have been spoken about a long time ago. So that things like this didn't happen and people didn't have that disconnection and that now need for reaching out. We should have been reaching out from the beginning.
Yes.
You know, but I mean, I'm guilty of it. I'm so guilty of it.
Me too.
I have a group chat with my mum, one of my aunties, and my sister. And yes, we talk in it all the time. Good morning, good night, you know, messages, photos, everything. But now it's a whole nother level. It's constant video chats. I video chat with my nephew now, and they see Logan a lot more now. And it's very sad that we now all have this need of more connection, but it's a good thing at the same time. And hopefully it doesn't go back. I hope that everyone stays on this process of reaching out more and connecting more and finding friends in different ways. And now that everyone is more comfortable with video chats, I hope that they continue. And I love it, just sitting on with friends and having a coffee and a good old chat. There's nothing better than that. And I'm a social person. I like to go out and have coffee dates all the time. The fact that I've been stuck at home having to drink coffee over video chat has been so hard. Yeah. But it's something that I've made myself do. And I've got to sit here. I've got to do this for my family, for everybody else's family. And I still get to have that coffee and that chat. So who cares?
You've got to take the good from the bad. That's how we survive. Yeah, we can have a bitch, whine and a moan about it for a minute, but don't stay there. Yeah, that's when we'll lose every single time. There's people here saying, Tracy May Horton, yes, it is the world giving us room. And she said, it won't go back. And I'm like, fucking great, because I don't want it to go back.
Yeah.
I'm actually enjoying the entire, I'm covered in goosebumps. You are literally, I don't even know if you can see that, but I am covered in goosebumps. You are speaking my language. I love it. Who else have we got here? Other people saying, keep going, Tazman. You're amazing. I agree. I actually totally agree. I think you're fab.
Thank you.
You're my pea pods. It's so good. And Luke Maroney said, it's my jam. So I don't know what he was referring to that, but I'm fairly sure he's
all of it.
All of it. The whole shit. It's so good. Oh man, I wish I could talk to you forever. That would be epic. It's my baby girl's 10th birthday today, so I literally ran in 10 minutes before this bloody meeting, and then we had the technical issues, and I was like, what is happening? Look, you're amazing. I'm going to go and we'll go a step further, but we're actually going to be doing a magazine. Not doing it, it's actually being done right now, and feature your story, because you resonate and you vibrate at that really high level. And that's exactly what I'm talking about, people. A little extra in the ordinary, sprinkling magic and just being yourself. You are literally what our whole jam is.
Oh, I'm so glad. Thank you so much.
Oh, it's amazing. Keep kicking ass. Keep doing you. And share the love, babe. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sweetheart. Bye.
Bye.